Now that you and your students have engaged in the big idea, it's time to investigate. In this video, we will share helpful tips to use during the investigation phase. The investigation phase helps students to plan and participate in an inquiry journey that builds a foundation for identifying a solution. Traditionally, you might be familiar with posing a question to your students and giving them some activities to do in order to answer the question. In challenge-based learning, students are encouraged to take ownership of identifying their own guiding questions while choosing relevant resources and activities to use and answer their questions. During the investigation phase, students can use a variety of investigation methods to answer their guiding questions. Maybe your students want to conduct online research or examine primary and secondary sources. Perhaps they want to collect data from surveying their peers or community members. They might find value watching a talk or presentation about the topic that they are focusing on. At this stage, it is important that students use a wide variety of investigation methods that will help them in finding answers to their questions. Here are a few suggested tips to help you get started in the investigation phase of your challenge. Allow students to drive their own learning by generating as many questions as possible. Encourage your students to think big and go beyond the surface of their topic. Help students to uncover the truths of their challenge by encouraging them to use questions like why, what if, and how come. Support your students in prioritizing their questions and accumulated data. We recommend you help your students reflect and synthesize their findings by using the investigation phase synthesis in the resource library. These resources will encourage your students to reflect what they learned in their phase while prompting them to consider what they'll need in the act phase. Give students space to question their thinking while learning through their mistakes and misconceptions. Help to create an environment that allows for student creativity and wondering so that students feel comfortable in asking their questions. There is no such thing as a wrong question to ask and investigate.